Hello, island goers. Welcome to part 40, Ghost of Tsushima with a therapist. 40 parts is a lot. It's a lot. It's been a long, wonderful playthrough. I'm glad you're still here. Thank you for watching. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hang out with us live sometime. All that fun stuff. Love to see you. All right, let's see what kind of cool shit we got going on here. We got a couple side questy things to do, and then we'll get to the main story. A lot of appetizers today and last time. What is this? Oh, just a bunch of hides. Damn, they are like slaughtering the deer. Holy hell. Oh, another archer spot. What up, boys?
Looks like you could use a sake.
Alright, let's see what we got. Oh no, that's gonna cost me.
The fight took it out.
Yep. That one miss. How far into the DLC have you gotten? This far.
Killed.
5 seconds. Boom. Even though it wasn't technically 5 seconds. Easy. Easy peasy, fellas. It was like barely even a challenge. I don't know. Maybe I'm the best archer on the island. Who cares? Loving the music. I was trained by Ishikawa, but I want to impress Tomo. You know, that's probably the strong. Plus about living out his training and more, you know, making Tomoe notice me again. Oh, look at this. More archers. All right, let's see what we got. We got top of the... Oh. Oh, if I would have hit it, I would have still got it. Oh, man.
Nice plump merchant vessel.
Look at that dude standing on top of the waterfall. Boy, if he was swinging a chain, that would... That dude is chilling. Sir, swing a chain for me, please. All right. The eagle's cry. I see you made it past my cow. Oh, don't get me started. Oh, Taco Bell, Taco Bell. Product placement, Taco Bell. And chorito, nacho burrito. And now a joke. I forget what the joke is, but what do you get when you cross a tiger with whatever? My ass. Oh, an owl and a bungee cord. My ass. Oh, God. You'll all excuse Master Payne. It's time for his nap. Sleepy time. Sleepy time. Tired. So cute. Bye bye. All right. This may not be the way to climb this mountain. Maybe it is. If you've got an ass, I'll kick it. You must defeat him now. What? You must defeat him now. You'll never make it. Never. You'll never make it. You'll never make it. You'll never make it. You'll never make it. It's gonna be Kung Pao quotes until we get to the top of this goddamn mountain. Holy shit. I don't even think this is where I'm supposed to be going. Alright, what do we got? so we're going down there. Bet you have to come up here at some point. Pretty good view. Pretty nice. But not what we're here for. Oh, look at a concert going on over here. Oh no. Oh no. Can Jin survive the fall? Nope. I want to get to the rock concert. Tell me when you find a Radio Shack. All the way back from whence we came. Ugh, a waste of time. We made some friends along the way, so it's okay. Sora, come on, buddy. Oh, God. I really went about this entirely wrong, didn't I? Goodness gracious. Alright, let's go this way. Don't be a dead end, alright. Oh! You were about to do it too, because you're a legend. Alright, here we go.
Fort Sakai. It still stands. It's fallen to the Mongols.
Yeah, the Mongol youth bringing their concerts and shit in here. See ya. Good thing I've been doing all that archery training. Open the door! Hey guys. I am Jin Sakai, and this is my castle. Oh, good.
Samurai burger de Tosha.
Oh, baby. It's Khan's twin brother, Kublai Khan. Uh-oh. This is the eagle.
You. Are you the eagle? The scouts you sent to Tsushima. I killed them. Khotun Khan is dead. We defeated his army on Tsushima.
I don't care, Jin.
Tomorrow, 1,000 samurai will join me on the shores of Iki. Surrender, and we will spare you.
Your journey was hard. Drink.
There are easier ways to kill me.
I do not harm my guests.
Ooh. You just drink this mushroom cocktail.
What did you give me?
My sacred medicine. Save your strength. This is the easy part.
You won't break me.
You were broken long ago. I release your spirit to travel the underworld. Face the judgment of your ancestors.
Oh, damn. This is not where I thought this was gonna go. This is great.
Jin, help me.
May your death benefit all beings.
My lord.
Yuna again?
Yuna? I told you not to come.
Lucky for you, I didn't listen. I borrowed the first ship I could find. What's wrong? What did they do to you?
The Eagle tribe's leader. She fed me some kind of poison.
Let's
I bet
find you a
this isn't
healer
real.
before they come back.
My katana was here.
Look around for the rest of your things.
The Eagle and her Mongols. Where are they?
I
Maybe it
started a
is.
fire outside the compound. Drew them out to investigate.
Oh, shit. Alright. Wow. I thought maybe this was like fake. Maybe it still is. What the? Whoa, boy. I'm like all swimmy.
Hurry! Grab your belongings.
All right, let's go.
This way.
Oh, this is... Oh, this is so interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you're Jin, I'd be super messed up here. Because we saw people going nuts on the island. Right? Like, we saw people lose their minds. And they're, like, delusional. And gone. And we would hypothesize that Jin just drank the same kind of shit that they may have. And so when you wake up here and you see Yuna, this would be very scary, at least to me, because I wouldn't know whether this is legitimate or if I'm like in
After
my
all
head
these
right
years,
now.
Fort Sakai is still here.
You know this place.
My father built it.
Ah, of course.
Huh.
Is anyone on the island fighting back against the Mongols?
None that I know of. Yet.
So you haven't found allies?
No. Iki Island resents Clan Sakai. It will be hard to gather support.
Because of your father. Give me a hand with this gate. When will the other samurai get here?
Other samurai? I didn't tell anyone. Not even Sensei Ishikawa.
Was your father killed at this fort?
No. We were ambushed in the canyons.
So you were there with him?
I literally just played this last night. Don't answer this for me. I literally just played this last night. And I don't recall Yuna. Was she there in the town when I embarked on the boat? Oh. Oh my god, I can't remember.
This way.
Is her presence oh, this is crazy. This is cool because it's got
There's a
messed
ravine
up.
across the yard. We can escape that way.
Interesting. I'll follow you. Losing your father in an ambush. I can't imagine how painful that was.
Sometimes I can't either.
That's not her. That's not her. We haven't talked about that. Jin's working shit out with Yuna as his attachment figure on this. Guaranteed. Take it to the bank.
Try climbing down. What do you see?
Why didn't you help me?
Father?
You let him kill me.
I wanted to save you.
You saw your father die.
Something's wrong. You poisoned me.
To open your mind, these visions are just the beginning. Without my help, the fear and pain will overwhelm you. Let me guide you through the horror. Purge the guilt from your spirit. Make you whole again. Just as I have done for all my shaman. Then we will tame this island and finish what your father started. Help me defeat the raiders of Iki Island. Avenge your father's death.
No!
Oh, baby.
Jin!
Okay, just to be very clear. Working through your shit is not something that can really happen effectively without your consent. So this idea that like drink the poison and overcome your demons, Jin, and I'll be your guide. No. No. Jin has to be ready for that. We actually talk about stages of change when you're like as a therapist. It's an important thing to understand. Not stages so much as just like the process of change. And one of the key steps or one of the key moments in the process of change is when a person commits to the idea that they want to change and that the change is possible and that they want to do the work. So in order for this to work for Jin, Jin would have to identify that this stuff with his father is a problem, that it facilitates certain ways of interacting in the world that he would deem to be distressing or problematic, and that there is a path that he wants to move toward, and that working through this stuff is part of the means of getting there. If Jin's not ready for that, he's going to constantly resist it. And I personally am not in the camp that Jin should just not resist this. That Jin should just go through it and should be open to it. Like, oh, what a beautiful opportunity to work through your trauma. Like, no. This is happening without his consent. You drink poison, akin maybe to like doing some level of like psychedelic or something like that. I don't know for sure what this is. Against his will, and is now forcibly vulnerable to this. So I don't love this. Like, I don't view that. I'm not going to be a champion of Jin's growth here. That this is something that Jin needs to be fully on board with and consent to. So, this person is essentially using, the eagle is using Jin's vulnerabilities against him for her own agenda here.
Jin! Can you hear me?
Father?
Poor boy. You failed your father, and now your soul is lost.
Oh, baby. Okay. Oh, wow. We're going to have a field day with this. No wonder y'all wanted me to play the DLC. No wonder comments on almost every single video were like, are you going to play the DLC? Okay. So we have to parse out a couple things here. The first thing is the eagle a real person? Yes. I guess. Is the eagle that we hear while we are in these dreams and hallucinating real? I don't know. Maybe not. May very well be a projection of Jin's subconscious, where we're hearing her parrot narratives of you failed your father. That would be something that Jin probably internalized at the moment his father died, and probably picked up on via some level of confirmation bias by listening to the people around him or the general narratives around like what it would mean to save somebody who matters to you and be a warrior and blah blah blah. So Jin, I'm sure, undoubtedly carries deep down this narrative that he failed his dad, which is a bit unkind to where he was in his development, and I don't think is particularly realistic in terms of how we would compassionately look at him. So who the eagle is in this is going to be fascinating to me, because I see her almost more as like a projection of Jin's judgments rather than being like somebody who actually knows how to cast judgment on what it is that happened to him and his father. Who shows up in these visions is important. And I'm going to reiterate something that I talked about in the Silent Hill run, if you watched my Silent Hill 2 playthrough, which is that anybody we see in here, we talked about this in God of War as well, anybody we see in here is not real. They are real insofar as they are Jin's version of them. But we're seeing the incomplete versions of people. We're seeing the internalized objects of people, which means that, like, if we run into Jin's dad, for example, we're not actually talking to Jin's dad. We're talking to Jin's internalized object of his father, which is laden with all sorts of his judgments as his child. So it's how his father shows up here, how his uncle shows up here, his mom, whoever shows up here, Yuna, how they show up is not how they were, it's how Jin sees them. So if his father comes out as like angry and spiteful and resentful, that's not his father being resentful. That's Jin thinking his father would be, which is inductively derived from how Jin's cast judgment on his own decision making on that day. This is all very complicated stuff, but it's very important to understand as a template for this, because I would say that generally what many people are going to experience here and think is that, like, we're interacting with his mom, we're interacting with his uncle, we're interacting with these people, that, like, the poison is bringing them to us. No, all it's doing is getting us deep inside Jin's psyche and getting him into his own projections and objects, and how does he navigate and how does he internalize them? Because the reality is, after people die, all you have left is how you internalize them. And it will always be biased, and it will always be more incomplete than the actual wholeness of who that person was. None of us carries the wholeness of another human in our mind. It's always limited in some way by our own shit. Part of the fascinating way that deep psychology works. So that's our template for this. How does it mean something that Yuna was the first person that showed up rather than any of his other friends? Yuna is as close to a modern attachment figure, adult attachment figure, as he has. Yuna is safety. Yuna is reliable. She's loyal. She's all these sorts of things. She's capable. So when she shows up there, that is the easiest person. That's who Jin is drawing upon. You're in a time of adversity. His most recent memory is that he was poisoned by the eagle. From an attachment theory perspective, we seek proximity to our attachment figures in times of distress. Jin was just in a time of distress. If he's conjuring up in his mind somehow how he would escape, seeing Yuna as the stable force that would have freed him would make a lot of sense, because it's consistent with his general experience of who she is. It's consistent with the initial interaction he had with her when she saved him on the beach in Komoda, and it's consistent with the other times that she has basically nursed him back to health and ensured that he was okay. So she represents a primary attachment figure for him, which is why she would have been the safety person to draw upon. She invites him into that space in a way that, like, I don't know, if Lord Shimura showed up, he'd be like, no. She's also alive, so it's more plausible. Like, there's all sorts of stuff like that. If Jin sees his father first and foremost, he would immediately have a dissonant experience. He sees Yuna and two dead guards at the door, and he thinks, yeah, that's plausible. So there's a lot going on here in terms of how this is being represented to him. But it says a lot about his attachment to Yuna and what she means to him from a stability standpoint.
I tried to teach the child all I know, but he acts more like a poet than a samurai. Jin, you're in danger. Keep going.
I'm coming, Father!
Kazumasa doubted you, and you proved him right. What kind of samurai watches his father die?
He wasn't a samurai. He was a kid. He was scared. He didn't have a lot of power. So, her voice is the voice that a lot of people post-trauma, this experience, her voice is the voice that people will often believe is unshakable. because it doesn't sound always like your own voice. Sometimes it does. But it's like, why? What kind of warrior are you that you watched your father die? And one of the early steps to this would be challenging that's a narrative that you have to carry. That's not actually rooted in reality. That's rooted in judgment. It's rooted in a code of honor. It's rooted in a bunch of abstract shit that doesn't actually have to be the objective reality of the situation. So literally in that moment, if Jin is connecting to those thoughts, what the eagle is saying, as a therapist, I'm going to work with him to challenge that. Those aren't necessarily true. Just because you hear them a lot and you indulge them doesn't make that the actual reality of the situation. So let's use the actual data we had. What was happening? You were a kid. You were scared. You didn't have a sword on you. You froze because you hadn't learned how to navigate a situation like that, etc., etc. You would work to find the more compassionate narrative around the reality of the situation. And that's when we talk about reprocessing. That's part of what the reprocessing process is recognizing some of our automatic thoughts around that, some of the ways that we're trying to assimilate back into what our pre-trauma expectations were, and then working with the actual experience we had and finding compassion for it.
After my father was killed, we sailed home with his body. I wished I had drowned.
I bet.
Your father never wanted you on Iki. Everything you do tarnishes the Sakai name.
That's a lie!
Jin! Hurry!
I'm coming, father!
Oh, this is great. Take the plunge, James. Oh.
It was a trap! Thieves and murderers tricked us! Destroy you!
Father!
Oh, man. Oh. Get ready. I'm going to pause a ton. Just know that this is coming. There's going to be a lot of me talking. So the easy target here to focus on is Jin processing his father's death. But there are other things at play that I think are probably even more salient. One of the things in this being that Jin's father's death represented a disruption in his idealization of his father. So some of it is a denial that his father is dead, but the deeper part of it is probably that he's in denial about his father showing possible incompetence, or that thieves and raiders who they don't hold in nearly remotely as high of regard as samurai were able to get one over on his father, that his father wasn't smart enough to anticipate it or wasn't capable enough to fight back or whatever. Like, that's a shattered idealization. Jin holds his father, like, Jin's like, my dad is the best. My dad is capable of anything. He's the ultimate warrior. He's amazing. And his demise is maybe because he had a weak moment or because he didn't anticipate something. And we have a hard time reckoning with that stuff when people die. We have a tendency to want to submerge ourselves back into our idealizations of people when they die. We talk loftily about them. We give beautiful eulogies. We pick and choose the things that we carry with us and blah, blah, because it feels gross to, like, you know, shit on the dead, basically. Like, why would I talk about the fact that my grandfather was a raging lunatic alcoholic who beat his kids and was a total dick to anybody in public when he's dead in a coffin right now? Like, why would I do that? Why would I engage with my father letting his guard down and that maybe he was part of his own demise when he's dead? I got to remember him for the man man that he was. It's hard for people to navigate. It's hard for people to engage with that reality. But that's part of what I think Jin maybe is somewhat in denial of or suppresses, is disappointment in his father for not being ready. Disappointment in his father for not having the skill to overcome that. And I would imagine that as Jin has navigated this whole game as the ghost, literally took down the Khan, has decimated Mongol forces, there's probably some part of him that's like, why couldn't my dad do that? Why didn't he do it? Why isn't he still alive and with me? If I was capable of doing this, why wasn't he? Which, we don't want him to sit here and overly blame his father, but his father has some accountability. You can blame the people who killed him, right? Because obviously, Jin's father doesn't die if people don't kill him. But you also can't only load it onto that, because there are some circumstances that maybe led to that lead to more unsavory parts of who his father is, and acknowledging those is tough.
Run, Jin! We're almost there!
You let your father die.
No!
May your death benefit all beings.
Father.
You all right?
The eagle.
She's close. We better go. I know someplace safe. You weren't looking so good. I let you rest.
Who are you? Answer me.
You're used to talking that way to people on Tsushima, but not here, Samurai.
I don't even know if you're real.
Draw your blade. Find out how real I am.
If you're from Iki, you know who won the Battle of Cloud Forest.
Rained 2 weeks straight before that battle. Flash flood killed samurai and islanders alike. We all lost. My turn to ask questions. What's a samurai doing on Iki Island?
The Eagle sent a scouting party to Tsushima. When I saw what they did to our people, I knew I had to stop them.
So you saw the effects of her poison?
More than that, she made me drink it.
And you can still hold a conversation? First time I've seen that.
How long does it take to wear off?
As far as I know, it doesn't.
I won't let that stop me. How long have the Mongols been here?
Few weeks. Wiped out most of the raiders. My crew are the last holdouts.
I can help you fight back. And drive the Eagle from Iki.
A samurai. Helping raiders.
Anything to stop the Eagle.
What's your name?
Jin. From Yarikawa.
Let me think about your offer. Jin from a Yarikawa.
You're not slipping away that easily.
I need to find more survivors, and you need to get your head on straight. Catch up to me at a farmhouse on the western coast, and we'll talk more. If the Eagle's poison doesn't break you first.
It won't.
Okay. Good shit.
Clear my head. Then meet Tenzo.
Okay.
I can't let the Eagle tribe destroy this island.
Alright, so western part of the island. Fort Sakai, not doing so hot right now. Oh, man.
You ran from your father's death for years. There is nowhere left to run. The nightmare will grow worse. You cannot face your father's death alone. Without my wisdom, you will lose your soul to madness.
The visions. They're still happening.
Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. He's gonna have some intrusive thoughts he's gonna have to deal with here. Just because we hear them doesn't mean we have to indulge them. We can set boundaries with our intrusive thoughts. And guide ourselves to other things to focus on. Like this question mark south of my zone. Uh-oh. Come on, horse. What you doing, buddy?
My mother loved the deer, honored them. I'll play one of her songs for them.
Ooh. Huh? What are you doing, kitty man? You lay down, please.
My mother would sit us down by deer like these, and have me recite poems from Kokinshu for them. I struggled. Whenever I faltered, she would pick up right where I left off. She knew it all by heart.
That's interesting, right? Like in the in the vision that Jin was having, he heard his father say Jin was more of a poet than a warrior. And I wonder if that represents to an extent the conflict that Jin felt internally for himself, where he like wanted to be a warrior and he wanted to make his father proud, but perhaps was more interested in what his mother had to offer, more interested in the animals and being present and poetry and all these sorts of things. And that there was a binary there where if I indulge this, it's antithetical to that. And I would guess, based on the way that he's been talking about them and just in general, that Jin indulging in poetry was probably not seen well by his father as much as, like, I would imagine he would make it very known to Jin that that's not cool, as opposed to his mother saying that being a warrior is not cool. Like, his mother sounds like she kind of took a lot of stuff into context, whereas father was a bit more myopic in his values. And that would create a struggle for Jin. That'd be cool to pet a deer like that.
Like you, Jack. Pet you, Jack. Yeah. You show me your tummy, I pet your tummy. Yeah. Jack.
It's good stuff. Honestly, this is the kind of stuff that I really wanted more of in the main game, so this is pretty cool that we're getting this.
Let's go, Sora.
Main game was great, but some areas that felt a little shallow for me. Now we're getting some depth.
This is the Eagle's work.
Speak with the Sacred Forest Temple. Okay.
Please help. Don't bring trouble with you.
What's up?
What do you need?
Shh. I'm not supposed to talk to anyone. I am Ito. The caretakers are keeping me here. Others too, including my brother. They won't let us leave.
What do you mean? Who are these caretakers?
Look around you. They're all followers of the monk Zenshin. His speeches have convinced many to serve the Eagle tribe.
A monk? Allied with the Mongols?
It's madness. The people here believe him. I'm playing along so they don't lock me away.
I can get you out of here. Your brother and the others too.
Thank you. Just please don't hurt the caretakers. They're good people, misled by Zenshin's words.
All right. I'll act like I want to join them. And see if I can find the other prisoners from inside their ranks.
They say the way is through service. Maybe that will help. Zenshin is about to speak, but only to caretakers. Head up this path, and you can listen without being seen. We have to stop talking. They'll see us.
Locals
Sweet.
following the Eagle tribe. I should see what I'm walking into.
Again, this is the same dynamic that we saw in Tsushima with the Mongols. People are just trying to survive. That's all they're trying to do. It's okay to lend an empathic hand toward them. Yeah, you won't see me standing up here like this.
These caretakers seem happy and relaxed. Is it all a lie? Mongol supplies. Enough to make this temple the Eagle tribe's new stronghold in the south.
People are fed, they have purpose, they have community.
Is this the monk Zenshin?
At first, the Eagle showed me nightmares. Our people suffering after the samurai invasion, starving and begging for help I couldn't give.
Nightmares. Has he also tasted the Eagle's poison?
Now, the Eagle has shown me a new way. Through serving her tribe, she offers visions of plenty, of peace. Tonight, the Eagle tribe comes to put our fears to rest. Prepare the way!
The Eagle tribe is coming tonight. I need to free the captives before they arrive.
Caretakers of the Eagle. Man, this is dicey.
I should blend in and ask around. Find out where they're holding the prisoners.
Blend in by jumping in from the cliff. Hello, fellow caretakers. I'm Jin, caretaker from Yarikawa.
Hello, sisters. May I be of service?
Please. With all the food we've gathered, we have more baskets to make than we have fingers.
The visions Zanshin described seem darker with each passing day. What will happen to us when the Eagle tribe comes?
Zenshin would not lead us astray. If he says the way is through service, then we serve. He wasn't very good at that, was he?
The comely ones never are.
Let me make sure he eats.
Leave it. He prepares for the Eagle tribe.
Hey, can I get one of those fish? Can I get a fish? My cats would go nuts for that. Swatting at those fish immediately.
Peace, friend.
Cool. Talk to you later.
Sisters, be safe here, they've sent you.
Why would you say such a thing?
You've seen him. Terror in his eyes. He speaks to the air as if someone stood in front of him. I fear for his health.
The Eagle's visions.
Peace, friend. I am the warden here. I have been serving Zenshin since he saved my family from the samurai. What brings you to our temple?
I'm a friend of Ito. She told me of Zenshin's wise words. If you like, I can help guard the prisoners.
They are not prisoners, but spirits lost in turmoil. We watch over them until they see the way. But that duty is not for you. And soon it will not be for any of us. The Eagle tribe is satisfied with our efforts. Tonight, the Mongols will come to reward our good work and occupy this temple.
If they take this temple, they could use it to spread the Eagle's word across the entire island. Or beyond.
One can only hope. For now, we must hurry to make the final preparations. Walk among us. See if any of our caretakers need a hand or a kind word.
Thank you for this opportunity, brother.
I love how Jin's got so much concern in his voice, and that dude's like, yeah, no, that'd be great.
Why do you struggle? These people want to join me. Soon, you will too.
Caretakers may not enter.
Noted.
I usually assign caretakers.
The warden told me to lend a helping hand. I've come to protect Zenshin's way.
Then you are welcome here, brother. Zenshin's way will guide us to peace and prosperity.
I know this, but not everyone believes as we do. I heard you bring people here to help them find the way.
The poor souls in turmoil. Yes.
Where are you keeping them?
Safely away from the caretakers. Eventually, whether peasant girl or blustering warrior, they all want to join us. Continue your service, brother.
We got some culty stuff going on.
No entry. I understand. I only wish to be of service.
I'm to prepare food for the ones in turmoil.
Not all are allowed in. Or out. This building has a story to tell.
When the door opens, we run.
Past the guard?
Don't be foolish. There's only one way out. Accepting the truth of the way.
Captives. Can't free them now without bloodshed. I should return when fewer eyes are watching. I've learned what I can. I'll wait for the right moment to free the captives.
Interesting. Rest and totally fall asleep. There's like a bed I could use. Sleepy time. Okay.
Look, a new brother. Let's have a look at you.
Peace, friends. Mind if I rest here for a moment?
Join us. But if you're looking for a drink, you'll need to find your own sake.
It's a wonder more don't come here willingly. Once the eagle arrives, my family will no longer worry how I'll fill my belly. Or my cup.
With service, the only price.
So, man. This is how you get people. Resources matter. They just do. There's a reason why when you're in college, if your RA has to run a program that nobody would really otherwise go to, they offer free pizza. How many meetings have you gone to in your life because there was free food available for it? How many more of those meetings would you have gone to if you were legitimately hungry and didn't know where your next meal was coming from? Food and resource are the easiest way to manipulate the vulnerable. These people are like, yeah, man, that's gonna be awesome. I would love to hear what you have to say, because if you're promising that I don't ever have to be hungry again, I'm all in. You'll hear things you wouldn't have otherwise heard because of the being enticed by that, by having your needs met. That's something that, like, you could sit here and judge all these people for entertaining the idea of following the eagle. All the people of Tsushima for being willing to join the Mongols. But if you've never been so hungry and not known where your meal was coming from, you're not going to understand that. Desperation for survival will push people past any kind of brink they ever imagined they would go past. You will join forces with people quicker you could ever imagine. We talked about this several episodes ago with gangs. Gang provides safety, security, resources, money, purpose, and you don't have any of that, you're susceptible to joining in a way that a person, if you could sit in your $3 million house with your Topo Chicos and your caviar and go, how could somebody ever join the Mongols? Of course you wouldn't. You're doing fine. People on the island are not doing fine. So the eagle is using that to her advantage. And we have to treat these people as that. That's something that Jin has learned through this whole experience of the game, is you don't treat people as the heathens you think they are. You treat people for the desperate folks that they are, that led to them joining something they wouldn't otherwise have wanted to join.
I need to act now, while they're still sleeping.
They are already free. You are the one trapped by your fear.
I've come to save you.
It's a test. They want to see if we know the way.
No, no test. I'm here to free everyone held here against their will. Have you seen a woman named Ito?
No. No one by that name.
She must be in another building.
I'm gonna put these people in massive danger.
Stay here until I take care of the guards. Then you can escape.
This whole situation is super messed up. Oh, this is way more complicated now because of those shamans.
Oh, what would your father say? You fight for nothing.
You'll be free soon. Go, before another Mongol spots you.
I have to stay. I snuck out to find my sister.
Ito?
Yes. How did you know?
I'll free Ito. Then you can go home together.
Tell her I wait for her down the hill.
Hold still.
You came. But what about my brother?
I've already freed him. Find safety. He's waiting for you down the hill.
And the rest? They're fools, but they don't all deserve the Eagle Tribe's cruelty.
I will stop the Mongols, and I will speak with Zenshin to make sure this never happens again.
Please show him kindness. He's a good man. Or he was. Until the Eagle came.
Yeah, Jin, you're going through the same shit that all these other people are going through, so you best be prepared with your empathy. Should I not return? The tides of war once again splash on Iki's shores. I speak the people's prayers, encourage them to leave Emma by the great tree. I send mothers fearful for their sons back to their homes and tell them to keep faith. But how can I speak of faith when I question my own? Prayers will not stop Mongol steel. I'll present myself to this eagle. I cannot stand by while more die. Then she... Oh, baby. So he went to resist. She probably got him. She's a scary lady, man. No. Damn it, attack this guy.
Now for Zenshin. He must be in the temple.
Probably. To my future shaman, Zenshin. Zenshin, I will tell you of mysteries the Tengers have revealed to me, and of how you, more than anyone, will help welcome Japan into the great Mongol nation. What you have planted here will bear fruit throughout Iki. You've shown your people the wisdom of the medicine. Soon many more will see the nightmares they've ignored, the suffering they've abided, the evils they've committed, and all of it unnecessary. They will see that the Eagle tribe offers them healing, the end of needless suffering. I know the path is not easy for you now, but have faith that I will join you soon. Together we will finish the great journey of your spirit, and you will become my shaman.
Stay away! I have done all you asked! Ah! Give me peace!
I'm not the eagle. You're safe. She's not here. But she did give me this poison, too. I can still hear her inside my head, building up my fears to make me feel small. But I won't allow it. Neither will you. Tell me what you see.
Child crying. His home burned by samurai. Begging me for food I do not have. I tried to stop it. I tried. I can't bear this alone.
You won't have to. Not tonight.
Oh wow, he stayed with the guy. Nice.
Her voice is still there, but fainter. The things I did, the promises I told my followers. What have I done?
What the eagle wanted. Now you can tell your people the truth. How the Eagle tribe twists our minds with fear and lies to make us their willing servants.
If I can undo it, I will.
So I'm gonna be maybe a bit intense with this, but the eagle is not doing anything. I'm speaking to this more of a relation to real life. If the eagle is actually doing this in the game, cool. I don't care. What I care about is how this translates to real life shit. So what I think this is a representation of is the way in which our own insecurities and worries that we indulge and choose to give energy to lead to us engaging in behaviors that are not in our best interest. That's not the eagle's voice. That's our own voice. That's our own shit. And if you believe that, if Jin believes that he's a failure to all warriors, that he's a failure to the samurai and his father, then what does that mean for his decision making at various points in his life? Does it mean that he slaughters people with reckless abandon? That he rigidly follows a code that's anti his well-being? Like X, Y, and Z. Does it mean that he seeks the comfort of people who don't have his best interest at heart? Our fears and insecurities, if they're things that we don't take accountability for carrying, lead us down those paths. If everybody who has taken this poison can bring themselves to acknowledge that when the eagle is in your mind, it's not the eagle, it's you. It's you being more in touch with your vulnerabilities. How does that change the way that you interact with it? Do you continue to resist it? Do you become more curious about it? You take power away from things when you become internally, when you become compassionate toward it. Like, why is it that I believe that I'm a failure to my father? Is that actually true? What's the more compassionate view? It's why when people say things like they can't get out of their insecurities, they're not capable. You are. It just may take a lot of work. But for so long as you continue to indulge the idea that you just can never get out of this, that these thoughts are intrusive and not real or whatever, that and sometimes they are intrusive, like meeting these things with compassion and evaluation and warmth can go a long way and lead you to make better decisions. Like this dude made a bad decision because of whatever it is that the eagle is making more present for him. In the same way that Jin may do things that are not good because of what the eagle is pushing through his mind. So you have to be mindful. You have to take accountability for your insecurities. And the way that you carry.
Then I will leave the temple behind until I can no longer hear her voice.
I hope you find peace soon, Zenshin.
Thank you.
It's not
I
about
hope whatever truth haunts you, you won't face it alone.
It's not about not hearing her voice. It's about responding to her voice differently. Unwavering sun. Yeah, I guess that solves that problem. Like, all right.
Oh, don't bother going to the camp at Nagata Lake. Raided by Mongols.
Well, you know I'm going there now.
Survive?
They did. Our monk gave himself as ransom to save us. But without his skills, we're done anyway.
If he's still alive, I can bring him back to help you. That would be worth it.
Oh, good. That's on the way. Beautiful.
Couldn't do this without you both. Heal!
Go! Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate you spending some time with your boy. Kitty man.
Are you cowards?
Sulgar Daksov Bakimu, Tenege! Jin, why did you run away?
Shimura, what's up? Oh.
Yuzo said you'd get rid of me as soon as you had a son of your own.
Your friend is wrong. The path ahead may take a lifetime. But I will walk it with you. Always.
None of this is real. I have to stay strong. You're going to be all right.
Jail I can handle. The eagle's poison.
Find somewhere safe. Be careful.
This is great. Love the little snippets.
We have no training. I don't even have a sword. But we can't abandon him to the Mongols. We owe him our lives.
Something I can help with, folks? No. I'm Jin of Yarikawa. You got me mixed up with somebody else.
We have no food for you, my lord.
I wouldn't accept any if you did. Not after what the Eagle tribe did to your camp. Was anyone hurt?
We were spared thanks to Doshun, the monk who oversaw this camp.
He agreed to go with the Mongols peacefully if they didn't harm us.
Where did they take him?
We don't know, but we have people searching.
I'll help. It's a rare man who would sacrifice himself for others.
Hotoke can tell you where our men are searching. Her husband is leading the group.
Find Hotoke. Are you Hotoke? Are you?
The men searching for Doshin. Did you see where they went?
No, and I'm not waiting around for them either.
The monk risked his life so you could stay.
I didn't ask him to, and now he's gone. There's no more food or supplies. It does me no good to stay.
Yes. Incredibly important point. Now, this comes from a, I'm going to do my best to stay as neutral affect as I can with this, but I got to own up front. This is a personal pet peeve of mine. So I have some personal bias in this, but try to leave as much of that out of it as possible. When there's two different people I'm about to talk about. There are some people who will go out of their way to do things in service of others without the people they're serving asking for it. That is okay to do, so long as you're not violating people's boundaries and autonomy and stuff by doing it. But if you are a person that does that without it being requested, you are not entitled to a particular type of outcome from the fact that you offered your assistance or just went ahead and did it without offering. This could go even so far as simply as you're not even necessarily owed a thank you. If a person asks for help and then you step in, then that's one thing. But if you step in and do something for somebody or help them without them requesting it because you believe it's in their best interest, you curb your expectations about their response. And also be aware that for some people, if you make that assistance or that good deed or whatever their problem, or make it more work for that person, that may also be detrimental to your relationship. So this guy deciding to sacrifice himself on behalf of the people in the tribe, and if he did that autonomously without the tribe or group of people asking him to do that, and he comes back and expects that all these people be grateful and laud him for that and whatever, he is sorely mistaken. For some, they may not even have agreed with his decision, and their autonomy was stripped away by him making that choice. So if you're going to go out of your way to do something for somebody without asking for it, yes, it comes from a good place. I'm not trying to make it sound like it comes from a bad place, but curb your expectations of whether that's actually going to be something that's appreciated by the person. Now, the other person we're talking about here is like if you are on the receiving end. If somebody does something for you or on your behalf or whatever that you didn't ask them to do, you are not obligated to provide that person with anything that's outside of the realm of what your scope of appreciation for that is. Also, if you don't appreciate it, it's okay to say that. Like, I didn't ask you to do that, and I would like you to not do that. In fact, I'd like to figure it out on my own. Or I don't want you to do this thing. Because, and if you're the person who's offering the help and you take that personally and you get upset with a person for rejecting your bid for assistance, then that means that you've made it about you, not about the person that you're actually trying to help, which complicates it even further. So, you know, is it cool that this guy sacrificed himself so other people could live? Yeah, if you're a person that wanted to survive and stay in that camp. But that's kind of the extent of it. Like, beyond that, like, there may be people who are frustrated that you did that, and they're allowed to feel that way. So it's kind of a complicated dynamic, but it's one that I don't think gets talked about enough, because we have this tendency to believe that anytime somebody goes out of their way to do something, particularly without being asked, that should be, you should be happy about that and appreciate it and all these sorts of things. And not necessarily. Sometimes that becomes more burdensome than anything else. Which means that if you're a person who is in need of assistance, you should never expect somebody to read your mind. That you should articulate that. I need help. And if you need a specific type of help, be clear about what that is. So don't expect other people to read your mind, but also don't expect that you can read other people's minds. I feel quite passionately about that dynamic, so. It's something worth being mindful of. All right, find Otake. Thought I just did. That's not Otake. Where the hell is... Dude, can you just tell me where Hotake is?
I can't believe it.
There we go.
It's been 15 years since I saw a samurai.
You must mean Lord Sakai's men.
Yes, from the invasion. There's nothing here for you to take. The Mongols have it all.
I'm here to help find the monk, Doshin.
You are? My husband and a few others are looking for him. They followed the Mongols toward the bridge. I'll show you.
You should stay. It could be dangerous.
I want to help. I owe Doshin more than most.
The impact of loss.
This way.
Oh, she's missing an arm.
What I said earlier about the samurai? I'm sorry. The invasion took so much from me.
You mean your arm? You must have been a child. War or no, that shouldn't have happened.
I found a wounded samurai in our stable. Gave him food and water. My father caught me. Cut off my arm. The hand that fed the enemy, he said.
That's cruel. He was wrong.
No. He was right. The next night, the samurai came to our village and slaughtered everyone. It was Doshin who took me in, tended my wound. I survived because of him. I owe him my life.
People suck when they get wrapped up in their own bullshit, don't they? Like, this is all the conditioning stuff we were talking about with Jin in the last episode. Generalization. Samurai bad. Maybe true, right? In the sense that, like, these people are being not treated well by the samurai. She, as a child who is not inducted into the bullshit of adults, engages her humanity, tries to help the dude out, and her humanity is punished by having her arm cut off because you fed the enemy. What does that teach a person? As a kid, what that teaches a person is don't help. Don't do what feels right, because if you do that, bad things happen to you. Do whatever this person who has power over you says, and you will remain safe. That is a theme of this entire playthrough. Everything in this game is, if you just do as I say, it'll be fine. If you don't do what I say, you will burn in the pits of hell. You will have your arm cut off. You will be killed. We'll scalp you. will take your village. Like this whole, it's all peace by force. None of this is people just autonomously deciding that they would like to convene within the environment together in a meaningful way. There's a certain group that has power that is dictating the standards of peace. So is it really peace if the only reason that peace exists is to avoid slaughter? Or to avoid pain or bullshit like this? And it's all predicated on nonsense, which is what makes it all so infuriating. And it also speaks to how really impactful our preconceived notions attached to labels are. If he says, I'm Sakai, all of a sudden these interactions change. Not because of who he is, but because of the label that's been attributed to him. If that dude that she's helping out conceals the fact that he's a samurai somehow, and she says, oh, he's from some village over, and then she's rewarded for it, now you've rewarded a lie. It's all bullshit. It's all just, this person is a particular label that we've deemed as bad, and there's reinforcement mechanisms and control from the people in position of power that you'll be in pain if you don't follow the doctrine. And people box themselves in the worst way. People think that certain things are threats that aren't threats. I'm not trying to suggest that the samurai are angels here. I mean, I've been very critical of them throughout this entire playthrough. The samurai are not doing much different than what the Mongols are doing. They're just acting as if it's honorable and whatever. In the same way that the Mongols probably believe that what they're doing is honorable. Which is why at the end of the day, recognition of power dynamic is so important. Who has the ability to dictate the terms of peace? Now she lives her entire life without an arm because she tried to help somebody. Terrible. It's not her fault. It's the fault of her father who decided to chop her arm off to teach her a lesson. People in the YouTube comments hate that you're saying the samurai are the same. Yeah, I don't care. They are. The process is the same. We just get more nuanced representation of the samurai. They are who we are introduced as. It's who we play. Like, we are psychologically inducted into the binary of samurai good, Mongol bad. But as a therapist, one of the things that I learn is how to identify process within a bunch of content. And the process is exactly the same. You have a select few group of people who have power, resources, control, who dictate terms, and people who don't follow those terms and who stay within, are entropic. They say, we need to bring order to the island. I mean, you heard Shimura say it a bunch of times. We need to bring order to the island. Well, how does that order get enforced? People are sort of naturally entropic, so you have to put in boundaries. Like, yes, rules and laws and boundaries and stuff are important, but those implicitly suggest that humans are unpredictable and won't follow certain decorum unless told they have to otherwise. The samurai and the shogun imposes the will on the people in the same way that the Mongols are attempting to do it. The Mongols feel invasive because they're new. It's novel. It's a disruption of the status quo. But the status quo that exists was put in place in a similar way. So, yeah, I mean, people can be upset all they want, but the samurai do the same thing. Entropic is entropy. Entropy is a law of thermodynamics that things become increasingly chaotic. That the only way to prevent entropy is via boundary. Essentially, like, think of it as like air molecules. Like, air molecules just disperse and they're entropic unless they're contained within a certain environment. Like that. Human systems are the same way. We create labels like family, household, friend, acquaintance, etc. Like, we create these like abstract boundaries and stuff we create laws, rules, we have reinforcement mechanisms, etc. All is designed to try to create order in a universe that is inherently disorderly. Language, even, is an example of our attempt to cut into entropy. We could have called these things that are on the ground anything. Anything. We could call it anything. But we call them leaves. So we've inherently boxed it in and put a boundary around it. There's an expectation. It's anti-entropic to even apply
There's something
language
of a
and label
path.
to things.
Men have been cut down.
My husband!
Stay there. I'll check.
I think I might be sick.
Focus on breathing.
It's actually not a bad thing to suggest to her there. Like, focus on your breath, ground yourself, let me handle this.
This man is older.
Lokoro. He left with my husband. He was new to camp.
The overgrowth on this island is really cool. And these guys are just sitting here in target practice. God.
He's younger. There's a mark on his chin.
That's Kanaji. He had a wife and children. Do you think my husband got away?
No idea.
We need to find the Mongols, quickly. This rice. It must have come from your camp.
Likely. The Mongols took all our food.
Let's follow it.
What would Hotoke say if she knew who you are? Mutilated, her village slaughtered, all to feed your father's arrogance.
Okay, so what do you do here? You hear that. My initial reaction, like, I would guess that the interaction for many, including Jin, is to be like, no, he wasn't that. He wasn't arrogant. But maybe it was. What if that's true? What if it's true? The reason all these people were slaughtered is not out of necessity, is not out of survival, is purely out of a desire to be powerful. So what you, or where is it somewhere in between? So the way that you interact with that intrusive thought, if we treat these as intrusive thoughts, is, gosh, like, well, maybe that's a possibility. What does that mean for me if that's the case? If my father did do some of this out of a sense of arrogance, am I responsible for that? No, those are my father's actions. I didn't choose to do that. I chose to follow my father because I didn't know any different. And as I've come to learn more about the samurai way, I've come to poke holes in it. Yuna being a great opposing piece of representation around that. I've recognized that the way that my father navigated the world was limited, and that maybe his ego got in the way of some of these decisions that I would handle differently. Does that mean that I have to hate my father? No. Does it mean I might cut down my idealization of him a bit and make him more of a human that has flaws that I can interact with in a more realistic way internally? Yeah, probably a good idea. So you don't have to fight this voice. Sometimes the voice may have some pieces you can be curious about, right? Like, that is what it is. What do you think she'd think of you if you were a samurai? Well, she might do what we all do, which is engage the label, not the subject matter. And also, I don't have to necessarily indulge that by making the assumption that, like, just because I'm a Sakai means that I was involved in this. In the same way that, like, if her parents did something terrible and she wasn't involved in it, do I really want to blame her for that? No. Why should I be on the hook for decisions my father made? And also, yeah, that doesn't really matter. I know that what I'm doing here is well-intentioned and I'm trying to help support this person. Who I am relative to that, the identity that I hold as a samurai, does that really matter right now? Yes, because I'm withholding it, but also no. as evidenced by the fact that we can engage around this in a meaningful way without that information being available.
You didn't answer my question about my husband. Do you think he got away?
We should go as fast as we can.
I'm trying. But my feet and back, I had to come. I owe Doshun everything. But if I lose my husband, I don't know what I'll do.
We'll find him.
I never thought I'd have a family. But then I met Togo. With him, so many things became possible. But without him...
Without him, you'll be okay. You don't need to hear that right now. But without him, you'll be okay. Jin doesn't have to necessarily answer that question, but he could be honest. He could say, I have no idea. That's why we're looking. I don't want to say that, yes, I think he got away, and then be wrong. In the same way that I don't want to say, no, I don't think he got away. And like, I don't want type 1 or type 2 error. I want to engage with the fact that we don't know, and we're controlling what we can control by engaging this environment to figure it out. She's seeking some level of external reassurance for her anxiety. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing, if she does that excessively so, we would want to work on that. But Jin's not responsible for mitigating that anxiety. He could answer that question more honestly, so she stops asking, since she's making a point of saying how important it is to her, though. But also, yeah, this idea that, like, she won't be able to go on without her husband. I mean, it's something that people often think about important stuff in their life. But the reality is, you can absolutely survive without him. You survived before him. You can survive after him. You're not going to want to. It's not going to feel good. All of that stuff is legitimate. But you don't want to chalk too much of your, like, purpose into, like, another person. That's not particularly healthy. No matter how important and meaningful they are to you. Thank you for the Prime sub, Nick. Oh man.
Stay
All
here
right.
until I kill the Mongols.
Will we find her husband? Find out in part 41. Thank you, friends, for hanging out. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this. This was a great episode. I'm excited for more to come. This DLC is going to be solid. Real solid. So, let's keep rocking and rolling. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, follow the links in the description, come hang out sometime, subscribe to the channel. Check out my other playthroughs, all that fun stuff. If you're binging, I'll see you right here, the next episode. If you're waiting for the next episode to come out, I'll get it out to you as soon as I can. Appreciate you all. Matter. And I'll see you in the next one.